Hi, and welcome to this week's episode on the Guestlist podcast. I'm your host, Steve Guest, and this week is another solo podcast episode. And today, for me, it's a really important topic, and I think quite often it's one of these areas that we will quite often overlook. We find, certainly I think it might be a British thing, I don't know, but we find it uncomfortable to feel thankful for things, and it's quite often something we don't want to necessarily talk about or accept. And it took a few years for me, to be honest. And I used to go to a number of seminars with guest speakers, and they would always talk about gratitude and being thankful for what you have, writing down the three things each morning that you're grateful for that perhaps are around you: family, kids, being alive, walking about in the sunshine, doing a job that you love, all of these sorts of things. And quite often we'll take them for granted. And we just move past, and various things happen to us. Various scenarios or things crop up and they stop you in your tracks, and they're big problems. The pandemic is a huge problem globally. And quite often we focus on the areas that are troublesome, and we forget to actually think, do you know what have I got? How successful have I been? What have I achieved? What am I achieving? Who have I got around me that I'm really grateful for? And I want to talk about it because, as I say, I think I was a person that perhaps took certain things for granted until it was repeatedly said to me that you need to be consistently and constantly practicing gratitude. And I think when you start to implement it and build it into your daily lives and thought processes, actually things start to become so much happier and so much better around you. It helps you to feel more positive emotions, and I think you also learn to relish really good experiences. There's been known write-ups to say that it actually improves your health because you're more positive, you're more upbeat. On the flip side of that, I think having the power to be thankful and to have gratitude helps you to deal with adversity better, certainly in the current times. And if I just look at recruitment as a sector, the last 15, 18 months as a recruitment consultant has been incredibly difficult, and more difficult, I think, than any of the previous years that I've been a recruiter. And I think, yes, it's tough. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, it has its hurdles. But if you can consistently think about being thankful for where you are, what you have and what you've got, it leads into one of the previous podcasts where we talk about opportunity and having a growth mindset. Being thankful for where you are is part of that overall process. Having gratitude and being thankful helps you to build longer term, stronger relationships. And it also builds better relationships because you're appreciative of who you're working with, where you're working, what you're working with, what you're looking to achieve, the goals that you're aiming towards. It allows you to get there. You notice good things. You notice things around you that actually start to make a difference with who you are and how you act. And then you start to look for them. So you look for the positive areas, you look for the positive in people, you look for the good things around you. And that can just be in nature itself. And then you learn to appreciate them more. And you start to absorb them as perhaps a normal daily occurrence, and you pay better attention to the good things. And it, I suppose, in many ways moves you away from that negative feeling where quite often, certainly in the current climate, you can kind of find yourself heading towards that. So learning to express gratitude in yourself as well, and be thankful for where you've got to at this stage, the troubles that you've gone through to get there, and actually how you've dealt with that and you've achieved more from it is really important. And I think writing these things down, having something where you can look back and say, this is where I was at this stage, this is where I am today, is a really good process to implement. Being thankful, minding your P's and Q's. I was brought up to be thankful. I was brought up to be well-mannered and courteous to anybody that I meet, regardless of who they are, backgrounds and upbringing, whatever it might be. You treat people with respect, and you're thankful for that process, and you bring that along with you, showing appreciation for people that help you along the way, and thanking them for it, and making sure that you share that positivity. I had a conversation this week on a Teams meeting, and it's an association that I'm looking to do some more work with. And the feedback from the person I was talking to was that internally they'd had a discussion about me as an individual and the fact that they enjoy working with me and how I come across in meetings, how I present certain things. They loved that my kind of mild manner and the way that I put things across. And that feedback to me was amazing, because it's them showing gratitude for how I am. And quite often we don't pass on good feedback, we pass on the negative. And I think if we can switch that around and we learn to tell 10 people that we're pleased with what they've done, rather than the 10 people that we're moaning to because something's gone wrong, I think we'll all be much happier people. And I think in general, passing on good information not only makes the person you're telling feel better, but it also makes you feel good, because you're showing positivity and you're sharing thankfulness and gratitude. So the main emphasis there is about being appreciative. As some of you will know, I've got my second book being published in about 2 weeks. And that is the journey of my personal brand over the last 2 years or so. All those stepping stones that I've had to take to do something new, and the areas that scare me, and putting myself out into areas that are uncomfortable and new to me. There are a vast amount of people that I'm thankful to and I'm grateful for, because they will have either shown me support along that journey, they will have shown me how to do certain things, they will have put a plan in place to help the journey and help me get there. And I am truly appreciative of that. And I think sometimes it takes us to stop and just, I suppose, appreciate the people around you, but also outwardly show that. And it might be a post on social media where you say, I just want to put a gratitude post out there and be thankful for these people who I currently have around me, and these are why I'm appreciative of them. It feels really good to do it. And actually you spread a bit of joy, you spread a bit of happiness, and everyone comes out better. So I hope you've enjoyed that podcast. It's short and sweet, but hopefully you come out of there thinking of 2 or 3 people that are around you at the moment that you can then go and pass on some positive feedback and some positive news. Let's spread the joy. Let's keep being thankful. Let's keep showing gratitude. Have a fantastic week, and I look forward to sharing some thoughts with you soon. Take care.